All right. Hey, y'all. Happy Sunday, family. Good evening and welcome. Welcome to Beauty for Ashes, the journey, y'all. Whether you're joining us here on this live stream or watching on replay, let me say this clearly. You did not land here by accident. This is a safe space. No judgment, no pressure, and no pretending.
Mhm.
Masks not necessary. Come on, y'all. This is a community where we tell the truth, first of all, do the work, most importantly, and grow on purpose. A place where we are rising, healing, and becoming, baby, together. So whether you're here watching from a peaceful place or you got a little frustration, take a deep breath with me. Whew. Settle in and know you're all safe. You are safe and you're in a safe space. All right, y'all. Today, let's give a round of applause. I am going to behind the back pass over to Dr. Q. And what I want you to do, Dr. Q, is greet our community. And we are going to let them know that we're so glad that they're here tonight.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Well, it's definitely a pleasure, and I'm gonna take that and finger roll it to a greeting to everyone, and it's good to be a part of this community. It's good to be a part of what Miss Honestly D is doing, and I'm so blessed that she welcomed me into the community and to share and to be able to give and empower and pour in and share the things and the journeys that I've gone through, the experiences that I've had, and to be able to share some of this education that God has blessed me to get, and to give back to a community of people who are willing to grow. Self improvement, the
Yes.
process of self improvement is something that I believe in and that I've cherished, and just fortunate to be able to give it back on a platform such as this. So thank you for having me. Thank you for welcoming me, and I look forward to growing and sharing with you guys from here and on out.
All right, let's give a round of applause, a virtual round of applause for Dr. Q, y'all. That's right. We're so glad you all have are joining us tonight. This space was created for real conversations and real growth and not for perfection. So if you're showing up tired, unsure, or still healing, you belong here. Go ahead and say hello in the comments, y'all. Let us know where you're watching from and invite someone who needs this conversation. So we're going to get into it again. I want to thank Dr. Q. He is now a joining host with yours truly. I am Honestly D, Dorcas Dobu, your host. And we also have now our new host, our new joining host, Dr. Q. We welcome you. We thank you for all that you are bringing to this platform. We got Tiffany, Mississippi in the house. We got Tasha. What's going on, fam? Milwaukee, Wisconsin in the house. Y'all know that's my hometown. Milwaukee, Wisconsin. That's where I'm from. Like born and raised. Yeah, Milltown. Milltown, Milltown. Look. Yes. Thank y'all. Okay, then we got Tracy in the house. Tracy from Milwaukee as well. Milltown, another Milltown queen in the house. We got the Milltown queens in the house tonight, y'all. Thank y'all so much for being here. I see this as an absolute blessing because the wisdom that Dr. Q is bringing to this platform is going to be a jewel. I said, y'all know I say them jewels a diamond. Like he is the champion cultivator, y'all. So look forward to not only growing, but operating in the leadership that God has called you to. He specializes in leadership, y'all. And that is what we need, because God is calling us higher in such a time as this, because the things that we face in life today. Uh-oh, mama in the house. Hey, mama. Mama say hello, one and all.
Hello,
All
hello.
right. We thank you all so much for joining us. And do okay, this is a Q&A, y'all. Q&A and convo. So make sure you put your questions in the comments and let us know where you're watching from. And please do share, because we want everyone to have the opportunity to meet Dr. Q. All right, y'all. So, Dr. Q, tonight I want, like right now, I'm going to give you I'm going to say, I'm going to give it to you, put the ball in your court,
Yes, ma'am.
and take us on in. Let us know where we are, what they can expect, what journey we will be beginning together, what your vision is for Beauty for Ashes, the introduction of things to come. And I'll just let you flow in that. Well, I appreciate you flowing with
Yes,
me and
yes, ma'am. Well,
flowing to share that information.
yes, ma'am. And I thank you for that. And again, thank you for the opportunity to join you and to be on a platform such as this, to be able to talk to people and share with people and empower people through not only just the leadership journey, but a spiritual journey,
Yes.
an experience journey. Um, God has given me the blessing to experience life in many different um, hats and different uniforms and different aspects of life. And so to be able to share some things and give and test some things that God has put in my spirit on leadership, that God has put in my spirit over the last 50 years, which I turned 50 on the 21st of this month. And so,
Come
it's
on.
really, yes, ma'am, it's really time to give back, so much that God has given me, because, to stages of life, when we're in our teens, we're learning. When we're in our 20s, we're experimenting. When we're in our 30s, we're kind of building that foundation. When we're in our 40s, that foundation is built. And now we're cultivating, what we want the rest of our life to be. And so now when we're in our 50s, we're supposed to, turn and give back um, to those that are in their teens and 20s and 30s. So the wisdom, we're supposed to leave something. We're supposed to leave a legacy. So I'm hoping that, with this platform and with you, honestly, D, that I can give, some strategies. I can give some, you know, pointers on things in life, give some things that people can think about. Um, one of the biggest things that great leaders do, they allow people to be aware of some red flags. And so self-awareness is probably one of the biggest things that I would say, that I hope I give. Um, not only through experience of loss, share the experience of overcoming obstacles throughout my career, throughout life's journeys, understanding what um, life means, as far as, having to fight for my life here, to fight cancer and surviving cancer and battling back to be productive and having more foresight to want to give and leave more of a legacy. So that's what I plan to give and share. um Lord willing, that we're able to do that within a process of, you know um life, not just, leadership, but the process of really truly bringing and pouring in life and speaking life into others.
Yeah, I love that, Dr. Q. I love it. And we have Miss Pharmacina joining us tonight. Welcome in the room, Queen. Let's give it up for Miss Pharmacina. Thank you so much for joining us from South Carolina and Florida. Come on, let's go. Dr. Q, you brought up something that is powerful, because life is spiritual. And you know, they actually do have a podcast named that, and it's powerful. They share so much information about how a spiritual life connects to our lives in general. And so, those are some things that we really, you know, how the word says, my people perish for the lack of knowledge. There are a lot of areas that, because we've talked in some of our conversations, you know, like there are things that people experience that they really don't understand, like why, you know, and why is this happening to me, or why do I feel this way, or why am I going through these seasons of, those are some of the things that we're going to be sharing here tonight, you all. And of course, you know that we have the series, the firstborn and only child series, so we will be diving into that as well. I want to thank you so much for the hearts and the balloons, Miss Pharmacina. That is, I'm glad you brought that up, because that is a very powerful portion of what Beauty for Ashes, the journey, represents. Because the journey is, it's lived, it's life, and it is spiritual as well, especially when you're chosen and you have a call on your life. It's
Hmm.
extremely important. So, what I want to do now, everybody, what I want you to do is put your questions in the comment section. Um, I can't see everyone's questions, but what I miss, I will answer once we wrap up. But feel free to put your questions in the comment sections. And I hope you've had the opportunity to read what tonight's topic is about and what Dr. Q brings to the platform of Beauty for Ashes, the journey. So, Dr. Q, can you share with us a little bit about um some of the things, or some of the, well, we won't say the guests, we'll let the guests be who, they'll get to see them when they come, but some of the topics that we'll be covering, some of the guests, the quality of the guests that we'll be having, what they'll be bringing to the table. We don't have to necessarily say their names, but you know, just some of the things that we're going to be covering, some of the information, some of the professionals that will be coming, what those things that they will be sharing with us will be.
Yeah, so for me, to share the story, the journeys of everyday people and people who you might recognize is very impactful. So we have reached out through my connection in different areas of life, from spiritual to athletics to administration to music, just art, just really trying to connect people to this platform through their stories and their experiences and their spiritual journey. And so I'm looking forward to connecting this platform and this community to some people that have I'm really close to, some people that I'm associated with, some people that are colleagues, some people that I know through other people. But I know their stories, I know their journeys, for them to be able to tell and share what those things are, to empower, to give, to bless people through their stories. Um, One story is, relates to overcoming, and this young lady's story is going to be very powerful, and she will be a guest. Another gentleman's story, is almost like rags to riches, and he walks through this journey, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and we did it together, and to see him grow and him tell his story is going to be absolutely amazing. And I tell people, from junior college to Super Bowl is his journey. So those are going to be the types of things that we're going to help, feature and bring to the show. And then, one-on-one conversations like the firstborn, that you talked about, and us diving deep and going back and forth in some areas to possibly agree to disagree. But that's what
Right.
this platform is about, is stretching, and we're not
Yes.
trying to pull someone's weaknesses out, but trying to understand that that's a stretch, and how do we take that stretch and celebrate the autonomy to have conversations. Because now in today's generation, I mean, if you look at comedians right now, and I feel like I'm a jokester, but we can't even
Mhm.
get on stage and have fun and talk, like we could in the past. Comedians are now, under fire, and that's never been the case, because conversation is very important. Um,
Right.
for everyone to agree on one thing is not very good. You have to have some give and take, and some yin and yang in these conversations. And so those are the type of things that we want to bring to the table. We want to provoke healthy educational conversation, for people to think. And I'm big on, I want to invoke something in you. I want to invoke something that makes you think, that makes you want to transform into something. So that's what I think we're going to bring, and that's what I hope to bring to the platform, and along with all the great things you've already been bringing to the platform. So
Yes, sir. I love it. I love it. I love it. Y'all, let's get in the comments and share some of the questions or topics that you all would like to see us cover. Maybe is there something personally that you would like more information on, or maybe there's something that you would like to unpack. Share that with us in the comments and we will break it down. Trust and believe. And see, this is the thing here. It's about personal development. So when you're ready to grow, we're here for you. We're support, and we're support here. We're supporting each other. We're supporting we're supporting growth. We're supporting evolution, evolve, evolve, evolve. We are supporting transforming into the highest version of yourself. We were talking earlier, and we were speaking about how it is so very important to be self-aware in every area of your life, in your emotions. And emotional intelligence is something that, ooh, just dropped in my spirit right now. That is, emotions is something that a lot of people are driven by and unknowingly,
mhm.
and they think it's natural. Like, no, it's not natural to operate from your emotions. We have to understand that we are in control. Okay, we got Tasha said, "Welcome aboard, Dr. Q, and applaud your leadership and dedication to join my sister friend, Queen D." Thank you, love. I have known her pretty much my entire life, and for her to invite you aboard is a blessing. Oh,
Thank you.
yes, thank you so much, Tasha P. Now, Tasha is the one I was telling. She is the author of the book Harassment. She is a first-time author, and I'm so proud of her. I'm forever. I'm godly proud of my sister. This is somebody that has been in, that has had my back. When I say, me and baby Zach, we make the. I started saying, I said, no, I don't just have your back. I got your spine.
Hmm.
She got my spine. We have each other's spine. And support, strong community. And you know what? Thanks again to baby Zach. Shout out to baby Zach. And I pray you feeling better, boo. Cause yeah. Cause baby Zach is the baby Zach. Look, we love you, man, and we love
Yeah.
all of our supporters. And we are just grateful that this community that we are building together is a place where we can all come, put our stuff on the table, and not have to worry about being judged.
Hmm. 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 And that's,
Perfection is not the goal.
no, it's about making a perfect effort. you
Yeah,
know
hello,
uh,
come on.
so it's not being perfect, but if you can make a perfect effort in yourself improvement on a daily basis. So I give a tip, and I share this with our athletes. 14-24, right? And we tell people this, 14-24, we tell our athletes this all the time. So 14 minutes and 24 seconds, right, will, and then the 24 seconds is a little bit added because we make it a little bit more dramatic, but 14-24 is 14 minutes and 24 seconds towards anything, right? Reading, exercise, mental breathing, mental focus, meditating, uh, allows you to be 1% better each day. So if you break down your 24 hours in a day and you want to get better, 1% better every day, right? That number is around 14 minutes and 24 seconds. And in anything that you're trying to get better at. So I spend 14 minutes and 24 seconds a day exercising. I spend a little bit more time than that exercising, but I'm just giving you an analogy of exercising, reading, doing something towards my growth. 1424. So and it's the effort, and it's stacking days, and it's stacking those days. And when you stack those
Mhm.
days, then those days become weeks, and those weeks become months, and those months become years. And then you look back and you'll soonly be like, man, I am from point A to point B. And that's what you want to invoke in people. How do you stack those days? How do you be consistent with something small? So you start off small. 14 minutes is easy. All right, you start off small and then you grow from there. So just a little tidbit about that self process and growing in that process.
That's beautiful. And that is something that can be applied. So that's another thing here too, to here, family. We are going to bring solutions. So we'll bring strategy to get through some of the things that you're going through, how to become, how as a firstborn child or the only child, how do I navigate this, right? We'll have some tools that you'll be able to apply to get through some of those rough spots or those unsure spots. So, you know what, Dr. Q, when you think about transformation and you think about implementing, I'll say consistency, what do you think is one of the biggest challenges people face in developing a life of consistency? And yeah.
Yeah, the start, it stops everybody.
Mm,
And the gentleman that I learned that from is Brian Kane. I went through his coaching mentor performance program certification, and that's one of the biggest thing. It's the start that stops everybody, because everyone says, "Well, I'll start tomorrow," or "I'll start next week."
yes.
Well, I'll start at New Year's. Well, I'm gonna start when my 50th birthday or my 60th birthday. It's the start. So if you want to start anything, you start it. If you want to be consistent in anything, you start it. So I would say the biggest thing is, quit worrying about being perfect,
Come on.
because perfection stops people, because, oh well, you know, I just don't have everything perfect. You're never gonna be perfect.
Mm-mm.
And then it's the start. Like, so I would just tell people start, and from there consistency begins to happen. From there,
Yeah.
consistency begins to happen. From there, consistency begins to happen. So it's a daily thing. And then I tell people to journal. Um, have
Mm.
a game plan when you wake up in the morning. What is your game plan? What is your routine? And I tell people I wake up in the morning. My wife gets up at 5, like 5:15, 5:30, right? And so I have about 15, 20 minutes to play around and sleep, but I'm to a point now I just get up. I get up when she gets up so that we can both make the bed. So now that gives her and me one thing that I don't have to worry about, because we do that together. We make the bed together. And then we get our son up and we get his day started. So I take care of me before I start to take care of my son, right? It's just like the plane. Okay, you got to put on oxygen and take care of you before you can take care of anybody else. So if you're not good, you can't save anyone else. So I focus, I get myself together so that I can help get him together and stay on task, and then take him to school, and I go to the gym, and that's the routine. And you put those days together. You put those days together, and and then you're just consistent in those little things. So that's what I say you do. And someone mentioned procrastination. Well, procrastination again is the start. We procrastinate to start, right? Whether the insecurity, whether the lack of whatever it is, we procrastinate because most of the time I've learned that most people are fearful that they don't know what to do in it, or they don't know how to work it, and or if we're talking spiritually, the enemy is attacking
Yes.
and giving you lack self-doubt, insecurities. Those things also stop us, you know and so you just got to find a way to get moving and start. That's the biggest
Yes.
thing.
That's powerful. And you know what, Dr. Q, that what brings to mind is the imposter syndrome. Can you give us unpack what that is for those of us who may be struggling with it and don't know?
Well, man, I've struggled with it pretty much all my life. um it is the imposter syndrome is the syndrome that makes you feel like you are not good enough, you're not enough, you're not
Mm,
supposed to be somewhere, you're not equal.
mm.
However you want to understand that, that's imposter syndrome. So I really give you example in 2019 when COVID hit. um I leave the institution that I was at, and me and my wife were sitting there and we're talking, and she's like, you always wanted to start your doctorate, do that. So I started to research and find some programs, and I found a program. And um as I got into the program, man, did the enemy try to beat me up. And I just kept it was hard, but I kept self-doubt kept rearing its ugly head, like, you're not you're not supposed to be here, you're not smart enough, boy, you've been in special ed, you got dyslexic, like all these different things. Now mind you, I've already got a master's, got 2 master's degrees, a bachelor degree, but being out of school for so long, I hadn't been in the classroom, I hadn't studied. Now I'm moving to something online. I've never did anything online. I've taught online, but I've never taken classes online. And I learned differently. And so imposter syndrome reared its ugly head. And one thing I would say is, one, you have to have a support system. And
Yeah.
my wife was a great support system. She encouraged me. There were some nights that I cried. You gotta let the tears flow. Sometimes you just gotta get it out and say what it is, and then keep it moving. Keep it moving towards what that goal is. But we've gotta have places and be vulnerable enough to cry. And one of my mentors here on campus, Dr. Bolton, professor here, he gave a great speech the other day on campus, and he says you gotta make room to shed tears.
Mm.
And it was so powerful on how he said
Ooh.
it. When you shed these tears, you're releasing some things. You're releasing some things. You're breaking some shackles in some areas of your life. And so you gotta be able to shed some tears and let God come in. um but then I think sometimes when you do that, you let him know that, you know I need you. I need you to
Yes.
come in,
That
and
surrender.
and
Yes.
feel me in the areas that I'm not filled in. So I need you to
Come
come in
on.
and take over. um you know um we and he says that we um few are called, many are called, few are chosen. So
Yes.
if he's chosen you, he's already given you the qualities, right? He's already given
Yes.
you everything you need for the he's qualified you already,
Already. I think
right?
Tracy put that in the comments. The imposter syndrome makes you feel like you're not
It-
qualified for the
okay,
position God put you in.
put you in. Yes, yes.
Mm.
But he's already qualified you for those
Yes.
things, and so now you got to walk in that qualification that he gave you, because man can't give you the qualifications that God can give you. And those doors only God can open when you are qualified through him. And so that's where he began to reassure me. And man, God just started moving. Things became easier. I opened up myself to grow and to learn. Is it a struggle? Yes. I tell people work the dissertation was a headache. And I tell people, um, don't ever stop giving up on your dream when you feel a little resistance or some adversity. I was at a particular university, won't say it, but I will give credit to the university that got me through, California Intercontinental University. If anybody ever wants to get their doctorate in business administration or any type, I got you. Hit me up. I'll get you to a special man by the name of Dr. Neely, beautiful person. This school had the most beautiful people when I was in my
Mm,
lowest, and they got me through. They got me through, and I felt some resistance. Went through a program, all the way through the program, did everything but the dissertation. They kept changing the goalposts every time. They kept changing the goalposts, changing the goalposts. So I tell people out there, if the goalpost is moving, if the mountain seems to get higher and higher, if people change the qualifications or change the rules, that's going to happen. But keep moving, keep fighting, keep going. You know, you will find a way. And man, did everything, did everything. Into the program for 36 weeks, they tell me I'm doing the wrong thing, but I should
mm,
have known that. So Lord moves me, and so I had to go to another program. I had to transfer, everything over, and other universities were only going to take out of my 36 hours that I have taken, and I'm working on my dissertation. Universities were only going to take like 9 hours, and I would have to
mm.
basically start all over again. CIU, man, they did a beautiful job. They took 24 of those 36 hours, and I was able to get through. So I have two doctorate degrees. I tell people,
Mm.
one is ABD, that's everything but a dissertation, and then the other
Okay.
doctorate degree is my dissertation, completely completed. So that was at a university where I got all this information in strategic leadership, and then at CIU, I've got a business administration degree in entrepreneurial leadership. So God blessed me to even be even better. So I was like,
Yes.
man, we just gotta stay the course, stay the course.
Ooh, that's powerful. You said stay the course. Y'all, no matter what you're facing, and do not let fear stop you from achieving the things that you want to achieve that seem impossible.
Hmm.
To stop you from healing in places that you feel like I can't let go. I'm not letting go. I deserve to be mad.
Hmm.
No, no, no. This is exactly where the healing starts, where the empowerment starts.
Hmm.
And one thing we want to make clear tonight is that healing doesn't mean ignoring the pain, it means addressing it. So,
Hmm.
like as Dr. Q stated, you have to go. There are some things, it's the journey is not easy.
Hmm.
The journey is not a cakewalk. There are going to be challenges. You can expect to have challenges, but what your fight look like?
Hmm.
What does your fight look like? Because you're gonna have to fight.
Hmm.
There's no other way around it.
Well, it's funny if you think about, and I'm going to bring in the world of athletics right now. A lot of the controversies behind some of these coaches and some of the statements that some of these coaches are making about the young ladies or the young gentlemen that they're coaching. The You just summed it up right there. Is the biggest complaint is these kids got no fight. What is the
Mm,
fight? Where's your fight? Not
yes.
that you're here to be perfect, or not
No.
that you're here to do but where's the fight? Where is that grit inside of you that will continue to hold on to the rope? We And this is one of the topics that we said we're going to talk about. I bring with my girls is like, are you holding on to the rope? Are you willing to hold on to that rope when
Come
you
on.
know your
Come
hands are going
on.
to bleed, the skin is going to come off? Are you willing to hold on to that rope to your dreams? If your dreams were tied to the other end, if your daughter was tied to the other end, if your husband was tied to the other end, are you going, and you're the only person that would keep them alive, hold on to that rope? What are you willing to hold on to that rope when no one else will, and your hands can't take it? They're cramping, they're bleeding, the skin is off of them. Are
Come
you
on.
hold on to that rope? And so that's what, this journey is about, holding on to that rope and not letting go. And so um that's what a lot of people struggle. I mean, the first signs of adversity, the first signs that I get knocked down, mm, I don't know if I can get back up. Well, you know what?
Right.
In football, you gonna get knocked down. In
Come on.
basketball, you gonna get knocked down. They're you you're gonna create some penalties. And let's talk about the penalties in our spiritual walk. We're going to mess up in our spiritual walk. We're going to mess up. It is inevitable. It is going to happen. But if you go and you're a sports guy or a woman and somebody commits a foul and they go to the free throw line, does that stop the game? No. If somebody in
Mhm.
football creates a penalty, they get pushed back 15, 20 yards. Does that stop the game? No. The game continues. It's part of the game. It's part of the game. How do you keep going?
Yes.
Right? How
Yes.
do you keep fighting? It's still whatever God got on the clock for you, whether it's 60 years, 70 years, 80 years, 90 years, 100, you still got time on that clock. You still have to play the game no matter what.
Absolutely.
No matter what, if you get knocked down and get pushed back, you still have to play the game. So, we feel in our spiritual walk, if if I commit a penalty in my spiritual walk, oh Lord, I'm done. I ain't good. No, dust
Right.
off. Go back to the huddle. Reorganize.
Come
Come out.
on.
Come out and go get a first down. Throw 70 yard, get a touchdown, hit a long range half court shot, whatever it is, you got to keep playing the game. It ain't over. The game ain't over, you know. And
Right.
the only time the game is over is when you standing before him at the gates and he says, well done. That's when it's over,
Come on.
you
Come
know.
on. Period. My God, see, that's why conversations like this matter. When we talk about it openly, we give ourselves and others permission
Mm-hmm.
to make mistakes, to start over. Who says you can't start over 10 times, 20 times? Who says you can't start over as many times as you need to start over? Who says you can't do what you need to do? Who says you can't? Can't is not even or should not even be a part of the picture.
Mm-hmm.
Press. That's what we own over here. We're gonna press and we're gonna encourage each other to press. And we press what? For the higher calling. We're gonna keep pressing, y'all. That's what it is. This is amazing, Dr. Q. You are giving us some jewels here. So we got, you know what? Here's the shift we want you to hear tonight. I can and I will. Not I'm not sure or I don't know. No, I can and I will. You have to change the way you talk. When they say that there is power, life and death is in the power of the tongue, create with your words. Do not destroy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
God has given us the power and the authority to create. We don't have to sit back and take things on. We don't have to sit back and take beat downs and black eyes from the enemy, snatching and stealing from us. We don't have to sit down and take that. God has given us his word. What? Exceeding abundantly far above we can ever ask a thing. Do we have enough faith for that? Can we believe it? Or are we just saying something because it sounds good? We have to get to the point where we are shifting and applying. You know, we talked about that before, family. Shift and apply. Activate. What's that one? Holy Spirit, activate. Holy
Oh,
Spirit, activate.
I thought you were talking about some
Sometimes you
Power
bust
Rangers or
out
something.
singing. Right. Y'all, when it get tough, just bust out singing and see what happens. Praises confuse the enemy. You
Man,
might be sick in the hospital. Just bust out praising and see, don't you start feeling better? All
yeah,
right, that's
it's funny. Well, it's not funny, but I think it's funny. We can laugh at it, but there was a study done where with athletes, and it talked about, you know, they did a study on how athletes talk to themselves. So, did
mm,
athletes listen to themselves or did they talk to themselves? So, I always tell our athletes, stop listening to yourself and talk to yourself. So, we listen to ourselves. That is doubt, most likely. You know, oh, you missed the layup. Oh, you're not good enough. Oh, but I got to talk to myself. Next play, next shot. You got this. You all right. I am. You know, and then they said it's so scientifically proven when you talk to yourself a certain way, your chemistry, your chemistry starts to change. You know, it's the way your endorphins react. And so I tell people that in the mental performance world, you got to talk to yourself and not listen to yourself.
mm,
So, but when you talk to yourself, you have to be careful how you talk to yourself because you're the first person to hear what you say. And that,
yes,
and so if positive talk can change your body chemistry, what does negative talk do?
right.
So, you know, it's important that we reassure ourselves by talking to ourselves. And I tell the girls all the time, man, they'll see me talking to myself and they're like, you talking to yourself? Yeah, I'm talking to myself. Because sometimes I'm talking my day, what's my daily plan? All right. Sometimes I'm talking what my next thing that I need to do and feel for me, you know. Sometimes I'm talking the game, you know, I'm coaching the game and I'm talking and I'm seeing what the next step is because I believe that I can speak. You know, I used to talk to myself in the game when I played. Like I'm finna get this steal right here. He's gonna dribble twice. I'm finna get this steal. Bam! I get the steal. You
Hmm.
start to speak what you want to come true, and you know, he said life and death is in the power of the tongue. So um I believe I
Yes.
can speak what God is, and I speak that. I write it down. I speak it. I make it known. I speak it to my son every day. I tell him, man, Booger, let me tell you that I love you. And I told you that you're amazing? You're beautiful. I love the way you treat people. I love the way you're kind hearted. You speak those
Mm,
things. You let them know. You let other people know. You speak now what now how you receive what I share with you or what I give to you, that's really not on me. That's on you. But I have to speak it. You have to put it in the air. You have to let put it in the atmosphere and you know let God and their spirit deal with it.
absolutely. I love that you gave that analogy, to for us to apply and relate to, because that's so important. You know what I find is so many times, I don't know, maybe you can help me out with this, Dr. Q, because I run this through my mind and I wonder, you hear people say, I want a better life, or you hear them say, complain about the life that they have with no perspective of, and perspective is another huge thing that sparked, with no perspective of possibly changing it. Why is it that there are more of the majority of people choose to complain and stay stuck rather than do the work to come out of that?
Because it's it's kind of like Nick Saban and some coaches say um, they're just low achievers.
Mm,
I mean, and I hate to say it, but I struggle with low achievers and mediocre people. And mediocre people and low achievers struggle with me. And
mm,
so I don't get along with them. They don't get along with me. Um, there's something in them that innately makes them not want to rise to the standard,
mm.
right? And there's a standard. There's a standard.
Yes,
And so in my
yes.
profession, Normal is average in my profession. If you're normal,
Mhm.
you're average. So um, when you get into the business field, when you get in, that's why you have the 1%, and then you have the 20/80 rule. 20
Mm.
Only 20% of people are gonna be fight for a lead. 80% of people are gonna do what's normal. What is it's okay, everybody else is doing it. And so it's really, I really, to be honest with you, I really can't speak to the 80%. Now I speak to them to help them get to the 20%, but I can't speak to how they think. Um, I really can't, and I'm transparent. I can't speak to that, but I can speak to the 20% of, you know, they make a plan. They don't procrastinate. It's the start that stops everyone. They start. It's the little things, and I really believe 80% can get to 20%, but they're going to have to change some behaviors. They're going to have to change some model. They're going to have to model some things differently, and
Mhm.
your actions and your behavior have to match what you want.
Come on.
Like your habits, your actions, your decisions cannot be backyard if you want to be in the stadium.
Come on.
You know, so you got backyard work ethic and you want to be in the stadium. You want to make 1 million and you got a two
Come
dollar work
on.
ethic. It doesn't compute. So one of the things I tell people is just, be consistent. Have a plan, you know, organize your thoughts and your dreams and your aspirations. Organize those things and
You
then
said,
have
or, what does that look like, Dr. Q? You said, okay, so just, I just really need to interject right here. What does that look like? Because that is where the majority of people struggle. They want to change, they want to shift, but they don't know where to start.
so the start is, I tell people, one, start whatever it is you're trying to do. Okay. uh a dream, you have a dream to get on stage. Okay, your dreams to get on stage or be a preacher, whatever it is. Okay, your dream. So you write that dream down. You write it down. 90% of things that you write down will come to pass. You write that dream down. Now I say work backwards. Okay, what is it going to take you to be on that stage that you want to be on? You start doing those things that take the stage. So, for example, I want to be on Eric Thomas's stage. Okay. Well,
Hmm.
first of all, Eric Thomas's stage. Okay. Now I'm gonna work backwards. Okay. I gotta do what? I gotta start working on my speaking ability. So I might have to go to some classes,
Hmm.
right? I gotta start what? I gotta start coming up with a signature talk and practice that. I got to work on, if I got stage fright, I got to work on maybe going to a couple of open mics and practicing some things and getting in front of people. So you have to create a plan and a step by step deal to get to your outcome. And when you get there, there's no guarantee that you're going to be successful. The only thing that's guaranteed is that you're prepared when the opportunity comes.
Come on. Oh, that's goody good, good. Tracy says here, people become complacent and comfortable in lack. Oh my God. Oh my God. And Tasha asked the question, what is normal?
What is normal for me? I tell people normal is people who are okay with the status quo. Like they're okay. I'm okay with it being Monday, and I'm okay with going to work and coming home, and you know I'm okay with that. But I want more. Well, that's normal, because if you want more now, you you have to be not okay with the norm. not just going to work, coming home, doing the same thing. Now, when you come home, all right, um, I want a little bit more out of life. So I'm going to go to the gym and I'm going to get a little workout in the gym. I'm going to sit here instead of doing the normal watching TV. I'm going to shut the TV off and I'm going to open up a book and read and get a little bit more knowledge. Um, I'm going to start a podcast. I mean, I don't know what it is, but it is doing things that make you better and add value to yourself, to your family, and to others. That's how I explain elite. Normal is just being the status quo, just being okay with what you're doing, and but saying you want more, but not doing anything to get more.
That's good. You know what? That right there is good. You know what, y'all? Community, if this is resonating with you, we want you to engage right now. Type in the comments, I am ready. It is my time. Either one, if you say it out loud or if you type it in the comments. And just always, like Dr. Q said, surrounding yourself with community is the key. And I'm seeing more and more that mentors are necessary. Coaches are necessary. Tracy said here it is, let's see, it starts with your belief system too. Oh, yeah.
The and I have a curriculum that I developed, and it's in my on my website, but talking about your belief system, and it starts with crushing limited beliefs, and you can see it on Twitter, posted it, and it's a curriculum, but it does start with your belief system. It starts with, again, how you see yourself, how you want to see yourself, and how you want others to see you. And it also starts with, like we talked about the other day, honestly, D. A lot of things start with how you teach people how to treat you in certain
Come
ways.
on.
All right. So it is really big. You really have to be focused on, what you want how you want other people's to perceive you, and how you want other people to take you in, is really about what you teach them about you. And so if the standard is a standard, then they know that's the standard. Like that, it's a high standard. Um, so it is a belief system, and it is building a culture around you, a culture that you want. And you hear that word thrown out there a lot in athletics, but it truly is, what culture do you want around you? Like, what is the energy you want? If you build a culture and you teach people that they can talk mess about other people around you, then
Mm,
probably be a lot of mess around you. But if you set a culture that day one, no, that I don't do that. I'm not going for that. You can't do that here. Then you'll probably see that you're not gonna have mess around you. So it's kind of built on what you allow in your space and in your area.
actually, absolutely. Tasha said, make plans for your plans. And when you say teach people how to treat you, can you unpack that for us just a little more? Like, give us an example of how you teach someone to treat you. How do you teach someone to rise to a standard that you have set?
So, for example, I'll give an example of my strength coach. Um, when we were at Tallahassee Community College, and he really opened my eyes on, Q, you teach people how to treat you, and you've really done a good job of teaching people how to treat you, your program, and your system. So what that meant was, I taught people that I was about business. I was going to be on top of my stuff every day, and I was gonna be a hard worker, and I'm coming here to change a culture. So I was in the gym at 7 a.m. every day or earlier. I was the last one to leave, not because I wanted to be, because that's just I worked until I got the job done, and I felt like things were done and complete, you walk into my locker room, and I coach females. You walk into that locker room, and that locker room is immaculate. I'm in there scrubbing toilets and making sure that when these young ladies walked into, it was hygienic. The towels were washed for them to take showers. Wash rags were washed for them to shower with. The like it was a standard. Like it was built a certain way. It's gonna look a certain way. It's gonna smell a certain way. It's gonna be a certain
Mm,
way. So
that's
I
good.
taught people that, man, Coach Q is really about this program and they are on it. Well, one day I showed up to work late. I had a doctor's appointment and no one knew where I was at because I'm always the first one there. So you teach
Mhm.
people how what you're gonna expect and what it's gonna be by your actions and by the and how you deal with the things that you deal with that you have responsibility over.
Ooh, I love that. That's powerful. Y'all, can we get some? Can we clap it up? Can we do a round of a virtual applause for that? Like, can we get some in the comments? We got my brother Tone is in the house. Welcome in the room, bro. Welcome in, and thank y'all so much for being here. And I hope that this is blessing y'all like it's blessing me. Lord have mercy. Thank you so much, Dr. Q. I appreciate everything that you are bringing to the table. How you talking about showed up and showed out. Come on.
Well, I appreciate it. I'm excited to keep sharing and in future podcasts and future years to just pass on information because knowledge is key and knowledge is power and knowledge just gives us freedom. Um,
Yes.
and so the one thing that I will say is that I'm very transparent and I will be very, very honest. And if I don't know something, I'll tell you, oh, I don't know that. But very, very upfront and honest in the things. But God has blessed me to go through some things, and still going through some things. I'm not all the way there yet. God, I'm a work in progress. I'm broken, and God is still mending and fixing and welding, and you know, so this right here is healing to give
Yeah.
and to pour and to know that you can share information with people that you've gone through and that you've gathered, because so many of us, this might be the only way we get it. This might be the only access that we might have. So you just never know. So I'm very honored to be able to share and bring guests and share their stories for the future.
Awesome. Y'all, let's show Dr. Q some love in the comments, y'all. Let's show him some love. Woo, I love it. I love it. I love it. And y'all be on the lookout for Wit.
Yeah. So the podcast that this beautiful young lady will be helping me with, truthfully, honestly, D will be helping me with. It's called the podcast is called The Whistle, Wisdom, and Wit, and we are right now preparing and bringing together and form the formalities of how that's gonna be. Look for it here coming up. I would say after basketball season, I'm looking at about April. I've got some really interesting guests lined up. I'm excited about. They're gonna share their journey in athletics, administration, leadership, business. There's athletes that are former athletes that are in business, entrepreneurs, Fortune 500 companies. We're going to be bringing um, these people together, these leaders, these entrepreneurs, these athletes together on that. And Miss D will be helping me interview and sharing their stories from that perspective. It's sports. It is the philosophy, which we call the wisdom of life, of academics, of athletics, all these different philosophies that people have combined with a little comedy, which
Yeah.
we're gonna have. So I'm excited about that. Also,
Yeah.
he has where I have a virtual library. It's the Q's winning words. virtual bookstore library that we have, and it's books that I've produced. Please go, and I've been putting, in writing a lot of things. I've published 4 books. I've published, well, self-published 4 books and
Come on.
self-published for others that are on that site. I'm currently working on 2 children's books right now. Um, so waiting to get those out. So please visit that, and follow me on social media.
All right. And we want to just celebrate everyone for being on here tonight. Thank you, Miss Rogo, for Bynum, for accepting the invitation, love. You are a beautiful soul. You are earthly angel, baby, and I love you forever. And then you know what, guys? Let's we really want to leave you with this very important jewel. Please think about it deeply and I pray that it resonates in your spirit. Isolation delays healing, but community, the right community, accelerates it. There are lots of beautiful things on the horizon, and don't sit back and compare and say, "Oh, well, they doing it, but I can't do that." No, God has gifted you specifically for what you are to do, and nobody can do it like you.
Mhm.
And you have to trust that, believe it, and walk in it. Okay, let's take a moment and pray together. God, we thank you for meeting us right where we are. We thank you. We praise you, Father. You see every heart, every struggle, and every unanswered question. Tonight we ask for clarity, strength, and grace as we navigate through life's journey. Help us release what we can't control, heal what has been wounded, and trust you with the process. We choose growth, we choose healing, we choose to keep becoming in Jesus' mighty name. In Jesus Christ's Nazareth mighty name, we pray. Amen.
Man.
Dr. Q, is there anything you would like to leave our community with tonight before we move forward? Let's see here.
Thank you. I look forward to spending more time with you all, and know that, again, know that you're qualified for whatever it is that you're setting out to do. God has qualified you.
Yes, thank you. And let's speak this together. Let's speak it together. Or you can type it in the comments, say it out loud. But when you speak it, it activates in the spiritual realm. We talked about that earlier at the top of this our conversation. So speak it out if you can. I am rising,
I
and
am.
say it with your chest.
I am
I
rising.
am rising. I
Mm,
am healing. I am becoming. I choose growth over fear.
mm, mhm.
I choose truth over silence. Glory. I am moving forward
Yes, Lord.
with intention.
Mhm.
Woo. Thank you, Father. I just want to give God the glory right now. I just want to thank Him and praise Him for this opportunity, for each and every one of you being here. We want to thank each and every one of you for being here, a part of this space tonight. Your presence matters and your journey matters. This is Beauty for Ashes, y'all, where your past doesn't disqualify you, it prepares you. Where healing is honored and where becoming is non negotiable. Make sure you follow this page, y'all. Y'all follow us because we have more to come. Keep rising, keep healing, and keep becoming. And know that we love you to life, but Jesus died for you, and don't you never forget it. Beauty for Ashes, the journey, y'all. Till next time. Mm.